Madden NFL 26 has had another roster update, changing the ratings of some of the league's biggest names, but it also had a secret update just a few days ago, and now players are reporting that their leagues are starting to disappear. So if you guys want to find out more, stick around after the intro. If you guys are looking for fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins, check out my coin sponsors at MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 6% off your order. Link in the description below. The champ is here! Welcome back, Money Team. This is Mad Money Shot, sniffing up the Madden cheese as always. In today's video, I'm going to go over the new roster update that just came out, as well as try to explain what happened with the patch on the 7th that appears to be aimed at trying to save people's franchise leagues that are disappearing at an alarming rate. But before I do, as always, if you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. And that's going to go right into the video. Now, I first want to go over a Twitter communication that Madden NFL Direct's account put out a couple days ago on October 7th. Where they said that there was going to be server maintenance scheduled at 6 a.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, October 8th, which was only 2 days ago. It says during this time, all online modes will be brought offline. This is a typical communication that you get whenever they're going to be doing server maintenance, or they're basically going to be doing an update. A lot of people thought that this might be an update that we would get patch notes on, but the date came and went, and we really didn't hear anything. And then today, I saw an article written by Mark Delaney of GameSpot.com, which is a very reputable source, suggesting on October 10th at 9 a.m. he wrote an article that says that Madden leagues are vanishing again and no one knows why. It says for the second time in 3 years, many players are finding their online leagues inaccessible. So this leads me to believe that either there was an issue with whatever server maintenance they did on the 8th, or this was an attempt to try to fix this issue on the 8th, which is why they didn't mention it, because typically when it's something embarrassing, they don't typically put out patch notes about it. So I'm going to read you guys some information here. It says, at the end of 2022, an unknown number of online leagues in Madden 23 were deleted overnight due to what EA called a data storage issue that resulted in franchise files being corrupted. It says some players who were affected eventually got their leagues back, while others never did. The total number of affected players or leagues was never revealed, but it wasn't an especially rare event, as the game's subreddit, EA forums, and various Discord servers were flooded with players decreeing their leagues disappearing. Now in Madden 26, something similar seems to be happening. Now, what they're suggesting here, and I remember this was a huge issue. It felt like at least half of the community lost their leagues, if not more. A lot of people had to restart them. But this one here is suggesting that this isn't something that happened overnight the same way. It says it hasn't occurred in one fell swoop, and a different, possibly more hopeful error message is greeting affected players, but it's unclear why it's happening or if affected leagues can be salvaged. It says the error message some players are getting reads: error, the requested league is temporarily unavailable. Please try again later. We apologize for any inconvenience. You have been returned to the franchise launcher. Normally, this is a message players may see if they try to access their league while a patch is still being rolled out. But in this case, some players have been stuck staring at this message for weeks. One player in my league said that his other league has been inaccessible for a month and a half. Yesterday, our 32-player league was hit with the same bug. We're now tentatively structuring our plan B in case we need it. Now, they're not just making this up out of nowhere. They actually have a ton of links here to things like Reddit, EA's forum itself, which is suddenly seeing a lot of people within the last day or so popping up with the exact same issue, saying that they can't get into their leagues. As I was going through some of the EA forums, and it was all like within the last couple of hours, like people are saying, why can't I get in my league? Why can't I get in my league? You guys can let me know in the comment section if any of you have noticed this happen to a league that you're in, but there's definitely, it's definitely happening again. Hopefully not at the same rate that it did in the past, because like I said, I do remember how huge that was. But there's definitely, and it definitely seems to be happening more sporadically, and they don't seem to have any answers for it. But like I said, I do think that they are working on it, as they do mention that here. It says it's hard to say if the issue is happening more recently, but it's definitely affecting different leagues at different times, rather than hitting a number of leagues all at once like in 2022. Some players have reported that their leagues came back to life after a few days, while others have given up after weeks of waiting. On EA forums, a community manager provided an update yesterday saying, apologies for the late reply on this one. We have notified the team that this has been happening with the leagues, and they are currently investigating this. Once we have more information or need any further information, we will update this thread. Now, this was posted by somebody named EA Shepherd 19 hours ago. I'm recording this about 1 o'clock on the 10th, which means that that was basically posted somewhere on the 9th. And the update that they tried to do was on the 8th. So you do the math here. They tried to do an update on the 8th. On the 8th, I'm guessing a lot of people started noticing. They responded quickly enough on the 9th, the following day, to let people know that, yeah, they're aware of an issue. And I'm guessing that they might have made the issue worse when they tried to patch it with whatever they did on the 8th. So if it's something that you guys are having issues with, let me know in the comment section, because obviously this is something that's happening now in real time. Other than that, we had some trades that also happened that were updated in the game. Like Greg Newsome was traded to the Jaguars. He was originally from the Browns, as we see that he's no longer there, and they now have Tyson Campbell, who was, I think, one of the most targeted cornerbacks in the league, which is why they made that trade. We also have a change when it comes to the quarterbacks. As you can see that we no longer have Joe Flacco on this roster. He has now been added to the Bengals roster, which was probably the two biggest roster changes that happened. Other than that, like I said, we also have an actual update when it comes to roster updates, which happens pretty much week to week now. And I'm going to give you guys the skinny on the players that changed ratings. Now, the highest rated player to go up or down was Patrick Mahomes, who got a +1. He's now a 96, tied with Derrick Henry, Chris Jones, TJ Watt, Tristan Wirfs. You know, really high level amount of players. Derrick Brown, the defensive tackle of the Panthers, went up a point. He is now a 95 overall. We had a lot of guys go up this week as well, by the way. Jeffrey Simmons, defensive tackle for the Tennessee Titans. So I think he had like a sack against, I forget who it was, but he like jumped the snap so quickly that he got a sack before the quarterback even got back into his stance. It was a crazy play. He's up a point to a 94 overall. Derwin James went down a point to a 93 overall, safety for the Chargers. Jonathan Taylor, he got a +2. Definitely deserves it. I'm pretty sure he leads the league in like everything right now. He should be in the MVP conversation, if I'm being honest, considering how good the Colts have been, and he's been a huge part of that. So he's up to a 93. Definitely deserved. Antoine Winfield Jr. is having an amazing year for the Bucks. He gets a +1 up to a 92. And James Cook III goes down a point, which sounds reactionary to me, to a 92, because I'm pretty sure he's having a good year. He maybe had a fumble or something. EA seems to like to knock people down for fumbles. Christian McCaffrey's down a point also. I remember seeing Christian McCaffrey also deserves like some MVP conversation and stuff, because I think I heard he was like close to 60% of the team's yards for the Niners is coming from Christian McCaffrey, and considering, or 60% of the touches, some crazy number, and considering how many injuries they had, the fact that they're still winning games the way that they are, I don't know why he's going down to a 91. He's still a great player. I don't understand what's going on there. Derek Stingley Jr. must have had a bad week also, as he went down 2 full points. Like, he's still not the best or one of the best cornerbacks in the game. He's down to a 91 now. Kirby Joseph, up a point. He must have tore somebody's ACL. He must have tore some poor Titans ACL, because he got a 1 point boost there. And then Budda Baker goes down 2 points. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, 2 points. Like, what did he do? You know what I mean? Like, what did he do to go down 2 full points? One of the best safeties in the game. Dak Prescott got a +1. He's up to a 90. Which is obviously, he's having a really good year statistically. Devontae Smith, after a really strong game, I think he led the team in receiving. Had a really good game. Obviously not last night, but the week before that. So he's up 1 to a 90, as he's now probably tied with AJ Brown, because I could have swore AJ Brown went down. Oh no, AJ Brown, my bad. AJ Brown went down another point, so he's an 89 overall now. They now have Devontae Smith ahead of AJ Brown, which is crazy. I mean, they're definitely close, but either way, Will Anderson Jr. went up a point also. He's now in the 90 class. Charvarius Ward, who I think I talked about in the last video that I did like this, where he went up like 2 points. He went up another point. He's up to an 89 now. So that guy's obviously having a monster year for the Colts. Andrew Thomas, left tackle for the Giants, got a +1. He was up to an 89 as well. Josh Hines-Allen for the Jaguars, who I don't even think played in the last game. I thought he was hurt. I may be wrong. It might be the other defensive end that didn't play, but he got a -1 to an 89. Justin Herbert got a -1 to an 89, and this is after, Justin Herbert started the year hot. Everybody was talking about him like he was going to be MVP, and now he lost a couple games in a row, and he's just dropping like a rock again. But definitely, I don't necessarily disagree with any of these, except, as an Eagles fan, I really don't agree that Devontae Smith is better than A.J. Brown, but I don't know what's going on with A.J. Brown either, so I can't really defend it. Jared Verse got a +1 again. This is like the second time this year. He's up to an 88. And we also have Stephon Diggs, who got a +1. up to an 88. His demise was definitely overstated. A lot of people thought that Stephon Diggs was done after that injury. Apparently not. We also got Alex Highsmith, who's down a point to an 87. Baker Mayfield up a point to an 87. I'm a huge Baker Mayfield guy. I don't know if I've mentioned this. I think that he's probably a top 5 quarterback at this point. He's such a good player. So I definitely agree. Up one to an 87, and that puts him ahead of Hurts. To me, I always watching the Hurts line to see who's above and below Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts ain't playing good right now anyway. Devin Lloyd got a +1, which I think it should be like a +2 or 3. The guy leads the league in interceptions, and he had a pick 6 on prime time. I mean, that guy definitely should be higher than an 87, but it is what it is. He got a +2 in speed, though, which is probably the most important thing, because speed is king in Madden. And then Garrett Wilson got a +1. It's for up to an 87. I typically stop this around 85, so we're almost there. Sam Laporta got a +1. He's up to an 87. I could have swore he's been in that range before. Typically goes up and down. Cortland Sutton, after a big fourth quarter against the Eagles, got a +1 to go up to an 86. He obviously had a very big impact on the outcome of that game. Jack Campbell got a +1 up to an 86 as well. And then Jalen Hurts got a -1. I was waiting to see that. He'd probably get a -1 again next week, as a lot of people are really down on Jalen Hurts right now. But, it is what it is. His awareness went down a point. And that's about it. We got Nick Benito, who is only an 86, which is outrageous. He should be a lot higher. He got a +1. He had 2.5 sacks against the Eagles, I think, was the number. Like, what do you got to do to get a +2? 2.5 sacks against Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata, who are both like 95 overall rated players or higher, isn't enough to get a +2. I mean, I should be making this type of noise for Eagles players, not for Broncos players. But Nick Benito is one of the best edge players in the entire game. He definitely is not rated that way. TJ Hawkinson got a -1 down to an 86. I'm not sure why that is, but I can't say that I've heard much from him lately anyway. And then DJ Moore got a -1 down to 85, which might just be a part of being, just being a receiver for the Bears that doesn't get targeted. Drew Tranquill got a +1 for the Chiefs up to an 85, and Jalen Waddle got a +1 up to an 85. Which doesn't really matter because, like I said, all that we care about is Jalen Waddle's 97 speed. So I'm going to end the video there. As Chris Godwin also, as I'm scrolling through this, I see that he's down to an 84. I got a -1. Coming off of a big injury and not getting targeted as much is probably why. I don't know if it's necessarily. I don't know what he's going to be after the injury, but time will tell if he gets better. But I'm going to end the video there. If you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to be a subscriber. If you want to see the last video I put out like this, I'll pop it up on screen. So just click the links. And until next time, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.